There seem to be different yardsticks as far as rights to convert one's religion are concerned. When a Hindu man converts from his religion, it is seen as a willingness or a willful conversion that has been done. However, when persons from other faith convert into Hinduism, they receive threats, and that's what's being seen in the case of the former Shia board chief of UP, Wasim Rizvi, who now goes by the name of Jitendra Singh Tyagi. Now, he says that he has publicly and willingly converted to Hinduism, yet he has received threats, and there's also a bounty of over 50 lakh rupees that has been announced by certain political party leaders, some of them even associated with the Congress party by their own admission.
हमारा मुतालिबा तेलंगाना की पुलिस से है कि फौरन वो मलून को जाकर हिरासत में ले और सलाखों के पीछे भेज दे। जब तक वसीम रिजवी का कटा हुआ सर नहीं देखेंगे, हम चैन से बैठने वाले नहीं है। गुस्ताखे रसूल वसीम रिजवी, तेरा तो सर कलम बहुत जल्द होने वाला है और हम वो पल का इंतजार कर रहे हैं। और मैं साथ ही साथ सब फिरका परस्त ताकतें बीजेपी आरएसएस को ताकीद कर रहा हूं कि ऐसे मलूनों को पैदा करने की कोशिश मत करो, वरना हम तुम्हारा नामो निशान मिटा देंगे।
देखिए, पूरे देश में उनकी सियासी पार्टी जिससे वो बिलोंग करते हैं वो खुद ही आतंकवादियों का सपोर्ट करती है। तो जब वो उसी मानसिकता पर वो भी चल रहे हैं, धमकी देने से और इससे उनको सिर्फ वो एक अपनी मुसलमानों में जो एक जो कट्टरपंथी मानसिकता वाली चीजें हैं उसको मजबूत किया जाता है। वो चाहते हैं कि किसी तरह से मेरी हत्या हो जाए, मेरी जबान बंद हो जाए। ये क्यों आपके अंदर है कि बस मार दो, जबान काट दो, सर काट दो, जिंदा जला दो? ये क्या है मतलब? आप बात कीजिए, आपके पास अगर तर्क है तो आप मुझसे बात क्यों नहीं करते? मैंने कुरान के ऊपर अगर चैलेंज किया तो आइए मुझसे बात कीजिए, मोहम्मद के ऊपर चैलेंज किया तो आइए मुझसे बात कीजिए।
इन्हें जहां भी दिखा इसका मर्डर कर दो और इसका गला ले लेके मेरे पास आ जाओ। 50 लाख रुपए मेरे से ले लेना, और जो भी इसका मर्डर कर रहा, सेशन कोर्ट हो, हाई कोर्ट हो, सुप्रीम कोर्ट हो, हर जगह वकील मैं रखूंगा, तेरा साथ मैं दूंगा।
हम सभी जानते हैं कि वसीम रिजवी साहब पढ़े लिखे लोग हैं। मैं रिजवी साहब को आभार प्रकट करता हूं, और ये घर वापसी है, धर्म परिवर्तन नहीं है। हम सभी जानते हैं कि भारत में जो भी ईसाई या मुसलमान धर्म को मानने वाले हैं, उनके पूर्वज कभी न कभी हिंदू थे, या तो लालच के कारण या भय या तलवार के बल पर उन्होंने धर्म परिवर्तन किया है। अगर नहीं हो तो डीएनए टेस्ट भी किया जा सकता है हमारे बात की पुष्टि के लिए।
Let's take this across to our guest. Joining us with us is Tuhin Sinha, who is a spokesperson of the BJP. Also with us on the broadcast is Rami Desai, political analyst. But I first and foremost want to go across to Danish Qureshi, who's also a political analyst. Danish Qureshi ji, किस तरह के शब्दों का प्रयोग किया गया है? I mean, if a person wants to convert his religion and is doing it of his own free will, what is the idea of issuing, this kind of a threat against this individual? This is absolutely unbelievable that a person is being threatened just purely because they have decided to convert their religion. इसका कोई लॉजिक समझ आता है आपको?
देखिए माधव, मैं तो सिर्फ इतना ही कहूंगा कि वसीम रिजवी वाले मामले में सरकार के जो ड्यूअल स्टैंडर्ड हैं, आप थोड़ा सा रिवर्स में चले जाइए। क्या हुआ था एमएफ हुसैन साहब के साथ में? उनको मुल्क तक छोड़ देना पड़ा था। तो जब स्टेट स्पॉन्सर्ड डिस्क्रिमिनेशन शुरू होता है, देखिए उन्होंने रिलीजन कन्वर्ट किया, दैट इज नॉट एन इश्यू। लेकिन इस देश में मुसलमानों के खुदा को, उनके रसूल को, प्रॉफिट को जब आप एब्यूजिव लैंग्वेज में बात करेंगे तो आप बताइए कौन बर्दाश्त करेगा? मतलब क्या आप कह रहे हैं कि उनका विलिंगनेस जो कन्वर्जन है उसको ये अलाउ कर किसी भी मजहबी कैरेक्टर जो है किसी धर्म के एब्यूजिव भाषा, इज इट मतलब वो ठीक है उनके लिए? ये बताइए तो।
Oh, these are dual standards of the BJP, but even that does not justify issuing death threats, sir. Even if there are double standards, this kind of threat is certainly not something that is justified in any way. Tuhin Sinha, I want you to respond to Danish Qureshi.
Well, good evening, Madhav. Madhav, let there be no doubt in anybody's mind that the Congress party is the modern-day Muslim League. Because whatever Rashid Khan or whatever the other Congress leader may have said, you must note that not a single Congress leader has condemned the threat so far. And these are the same people who never leave an opportunity to demonize Hindutva. These are the same people who never leave an opportunity to demonize RSS. But there are two other important points that I wish to make over here. See, what is equally stunning, what is equally shocking is that there is no action by the KCR government either, which shows that Telangana is a dangerous breeding spot of Islamic radicalization at this point of time, and the center would be, I'm sure, taking note of that. Secondly, I have been saying this for some time, there is a reason why Rahul Gandhi deliberately does not act on such incidents. He had to take refuge in Wayanad. His political survival is based upon the support he gets from IUML cadres over there. And that is the reason in the last assembly elections in April, May, he had to tie up with IUML in Kerala, with Badruddin in Assam, and the Indian Secular Front in Bengal, three of the worst radicalized Islamist parties. So let there be no doubt in anybody's mind that the Congress is an out-and-out pro-Islamist outfit today, and that support to people like Rashid Khan is tacit but very visible to everybody.
All right, it's an out-and-out communal outfit. That's the direct charge. But at the end of the day, Mr. Qureshi, सवाल ये उठता है कि how can people come out and make such threats for a person who chooses to, change his religion? He or she, whatever other beliefs they may have, it is their free right. अगर एक सेट और एक रिलीजन से दूसरे रिलीजन में कन्वर्ट करने की अगर इजाजत है और ये फ्रीडम है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में, तो फिर इस स्थिति में और इस परिस्थिति में ऑब्जेक्ट करने की कोई बात ही नहीं उठती, सवाल ही नहीं उठता।
माधव, इसी उत्तर प्रदेश में कल हमने देखा कि मथुरा के अंदर में भगवे कलर में जो आतंकवादी थे वो उत्तर प्रदेश की पुलिस को खुलेआम धमकी दे रहे थे कि आप कितने दिन रोक लेंगे, हम कर लेंगे, और पुलिस उनको हाथ पैर जोड़ के वहां से रवाना कर रही थी।
देखिए सर, पहली बात तो आतंकवादी शब्द का जो प्रयोग करते हैं उसको ठीक से प्रयोग करिए। आप कैसे कंक्लूड कर रहे हैं कि आतंकवादी है, पहली बात। दूसरी बात, one wrong does not justify another. Two wrongs definitely don't make a right, Mr. Qureshi. And certainly in this particular case, the question that is being asked is of why Mr. Qureshi is being personally threatened. He has personally been given not just publicly these statements, but also threatened personally. I want to bring in Rami Desai on that. Rami Desai, the minute question is asked on one aspect, immediately the goalpost is shifted to another. The question is that two acts or threats of violence cannot justify each other.
Correct. Good evening, Madhav. I'd like to make quickly 3 points. Politically, we've already had to look at this. And I really want to give it a little anthropological perspective. You see, this entire Wasim Rizvi case has been going on for some time now, and it's brought to surface the truth of our society, which is, number one, that behind this garb of these very loosely used words like secularism or liberalism lies the absolute truth. That is, when it comes to blasphemy, there are no free passes. Two, that the moderate as well as the radical hardliner will support each other against any perceived blasphemous content, even though they are very well aware of the constitutional rights and freedoms that are given to an individual in this country. And number three, that there are different levels of tolerance in our country. Our society, depending on the religion that you belong to, if this was a conservative Hindu taking the law in his own hands, defending what he thought was a perceived insult to his religion, within civil society, we would find enough voices reprimanding him, which came from the same religion. However, in this case, you see people still defending this. There isn't a voice of objection. And, it's proven that we have normalized intolerance only through a singular lens. And that is
I think that's a very, very important point. That's a very important point. Yes, I'm going to come back to you. But I want to ask that question of Danish Qureshi. Danish Qureshi जी, आप बीजेपी पर सवाल उठाइए, आपको पूरा हक है. लेकिन कांग्रेस के अंदर कौन लीडर हैं जिन्होंने आके formally who have objected to the statements that are being made by all of these individuals, including Mr. Rashid Khan? Where is that voice of strong condemnation coming in from within the Congress party itself? He is a leader. He is on camera, and this video interview of his has been out for over 24 hours. No word coming out yet from the Congress party, sir.
This is the internal matter of the Congress. I am not the representative of any political party here. But remember one thing: the two radical groups are in front. One is in saffron group and other is in green. But how can we justify anybody who has abused the god of one religion, and second want to beheaded the man who has abused? Now the thing is, we are not here to make a justice that who is true and who is right and who is wrong. But the things are very clear that if you will make a man towards a negative thought, you will definitely you will get a negative counter from the other side, and this is most of that. And what about Mr. Farooq Mohammad Firoz Khan? He is very well known for his controversial statements and activities. As per I knew, he is from Namapalli and he has contested election from Indian National Congress. But it is up to Congress that he will going to condemn this or not, or it is the personal matter of Mr. Firoz Khan.
It's a personal matter of Mr. Firoz Khan, and it's up to the Congress party. He doesn't speak for the Congress party. Therefore, there is no condemnation that is either come out or is deemed necessary. Rami Desai, does that answer your question?
No, it absolutely does not answer my question, because a negative situation may demand a negative reaction, but that has to be within the ambit of, the legal reservations given to us in this country. Would this gentleman who spoke before me condemn the fact that in this video he was called a kafir, that using religiously motivated slurs like this against an entire community is wrong? Would he be able to condemn this on national television? No, because this is the sense of intolerance that has been normalized because it belongs to one particular religion. And that itself is, I think, something that we have to be very fearful of, And let me also tell you that, this gives us another indicator. What we see in this case is not an isolated case. This is almost organized. We have organizations like Raza Academy that have in a very organized manner been pursuing this case. Publicly, hoardings came up, and those hoardings said, really unacceptable things like Wasim Murdabad, Hamare Nabi ke shaan mein gustaki karne walon ke khilaf. These were public hoardings. Who spoke against that? How can you incite hatred like this and expect to get away with it and defend it on national television?
Okay.
This is again the same organization that asked for the Prophet Muhammad and other religious heads' prohibition of Slander Act 2021. Where does this fit into our constitutional framework?
Okay.
How can we normalize blasphemy when, this is not an Islamic country? So, I would like to ask this gentleman if he would actually be able to publicly condemn this and go back to civil society and not have to face repercussions.
Danish Qureshi, leave alone others. Do you condemn this behavior or not? That's a direct question coming to you from Rami Desai.
Why should I condemn? Because he had hurt my faith. He has abused my Allah. He had abused my Prophet.
So are you
Why should I
justifying the fact that just because your
Does that justify giving threats of violence, sir?
Because I am
So
not
proceed against him legally. Once again, Danish Qureshi, proceed against this individual within the framework of law. Why issue threats? Why put a bounty on his head? There are very important questions anyway that are still left to be answered, but we're going to slip into a quick break now. We're completely out of time on this debate. I'd like to thank all three of you for joining us this evening.